Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the moon in conjunct the south node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise, and some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the moon in conjunct the south node in a natal chart, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, that may be needed between the emotional needs, which is the moon, and what you just simply feel comfortable in. And the thing about this is that, both the south node and the moon have certain similarities because, the moon, is connected, with what we may have certain comfort in. And the south node can be that comfort zone where we feel, relaxed, we become complacent. So it's really like, there is like an adjustment needed between two things that you truly, feel comfortable in doing. Now, let's say, if the moon is in Gemini, the emotional needs, may be, tied in, to just simply communication, disseminating, assimilating information, things that require manual dexterity, such as auto refrigeration mechanics. Say if the south node is in Capricorn, you would have, a very strong disparity in the energy because you would have, the moon in Gemini, which could be very, restless and wants to do manifold things, may scatter energy, but the south node in Capricorn, the person may be really good, feel comfortable in being more structured, disciplined, consistent. So you have, that strong difference in the energy. South node in Capricorn may be very comfortable in being very serious about things, or the moon in Gemini may often feel more lighthearted in matters. Now, and one or the other may be overemphasized. It could be too much of one or the other. When you have inconjuncts in astrology, it's important to find equilibrium and balance between the two energies. Now, also, there may be an imbalance between the activities involving the mother and family, which is the moon, and those that are from the past, which is the south node. Those people that may figure prominently in your past. If you have the south node, say it's in Taurus, those people from the past, may have one or more may have a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that are persistent, patient, persevering, trustworthy, tenacious, stolid, stable, loyal, steadfast, but may also be stubborn and obstinate as well. And the thing is, you may have, having that imbalance. There may be either too many, activities. You may be dominated by activities, concerning the mother and family, which is the moon, and not enough from people that would involve people that were prominent in your past, which is the south node, or it could be the other way around, that people from the prominent in your past may dominate, and to the point where it's to almost the complete exclusion of, the mother and family. So it's really important just again to find, the harmony, the balance, the equilibrium between the two energies. Now, another way the moon in conjunct the south node can manifest in a natal chart is that there may, be excessive expression of that unconscious side, which is the moon, and then not enough on, what you brought in from a past incarnation, if you do believe in that. I do know that, some people out there, believe that the south node is connected to what we brought in from a prior time, but then, there's others that may not believe it. So I just want to state that. But for those that do believe, that the south node is connected, what was brought in, qualities from a past incarnation, say, if the south node is in Virgo, those qualities may include being very helpful, service-oriented, punctilious with details, analytical, very detail-oriented, being able to organize and compartmentalize. And there could either be, again, too much energy with the south node, and then not enough of the expression of the unconscious side, which is the moon, or the other way around. Now, another thing too is that if you have the moon in conjunct the south node in the natal chart, another way it may manifest and pan out is that you may either strongly, incorporate, the built-in abilities, which is the south node, with the public, which is the moon, and other times you may not at all, do that. And if say the south node is in Aquarius, those built-in abilities may be tied in with simply being ingenious, and, being able, to express, self, whether it be selfless qualities, altruistic qualities, being considerate, friendly. It could simply be, being expressing humanitarian, qualities, as some examples, some strong, mental ability, just in general. And the thing is, and being able to perhaps, speak in a way that's very, clear and perspicacious. Those are some qualities, as an example, of the South Node of Aquarius. And the thing is, then other times, there may be times when you incorporate strongly those built-in qualities, which is the South Node with the public, which is when other times you may not enough. So again, it's that balance, the harmony, the equilibrium that needs to be attained. Now, another way this aspect may be expressed is that you may at times be supremely, emotionally, which is the moon vested, in doing what you're naturally proficient in, which is the south node. And other times there may be like no emotional, energy, connected with what you're, doing, in terms of what you're naturally proficient in, which is the south node. Now, let's say if the south node is in Libra, as an example, what you're naturally proficient in may simply be tied in with balance, harmony, being able to negotiate, being persuasive. It could be doing something of an artistic endeavor, or in nature it might be something that involves the law. Being able to, express, refinement, attractiveness, and there may be times when you may be, really more emotionally invested in that, as an example, and other times, not at all, where you're just completely more, stolid and passive, or what have you, regarding, the activities involving what you're naturally proficient in. Now, another thing too is that, if you have this aspect in your natal chart, you may be extremely, responsive, which is the moon, to those that figured prominently in your past, which is the south node, and other times you may simply be apathetic or oblivious, to those people. The south node, say, is in Aries. Those people prominent in your past may be Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be people that are very aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, combative, but yet maybe very impatient and impulsive as well, and hot-tempered. And then another thing about this aspect is that sometimes you may be, really exceptionally in that mood, which is the moon, to get away from the negative qualities connected with the south node position. And other times you just really don't feel, you may not feel at all like working on that. Now, let's say the south node is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example. Those, the negative qualities connected with the south node position, might be being, very moody, temperamental, fickle, being overly clingy, dependent, too emotional, overly sensitive, to ridicule, to criticism, being, overly, tenacious to something that might have, run its course, overly dedicated or devoted to something that doesn't, it's not holding the person any purpose anymore, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.